minute. Let me make sure I'm understanding you correctly. Rebecca Lobo. Hey, it's me, Becky. Rebecca Lobo, who was one of the first employees in the WNBA dump. Now, as you guys know, Sherry Swoops was employee number 1 in the WNBA. She holds the distinguished honor of being the original pooper swooper. But Rebecca Lobo, she was one of the original players for the New York Lesbians in their inaugural season back in 1997. Today, Rebecca Lobo is featured on ESPN, where she analyzes pretend basketball. And according to Becky Lobo, WNBA players are rapidly losing fan support in negotiations for a new CBA. Losing fan support? Losing fan support. In a sentence with just 3 words. It amazes me how Rebecca Lobo could find a way to include 2 words that could not apply any less to the WNBA. The only word in that sentence that applies to the dump is losing. The WNBA is absolutely brilliant when it comes to losing other people's money. But fan support? These words are foreign in the land of pretend basketball. This league has never had fans, and they've damn sure never had support. According to Rebecca Lobo, these mythical fans are losing patience with entitled WNBA players. Earlier this week, Becky was the guest on something called A Touch More. I know this sounds like a show that's exclusive to OnlyFans, but A Touch More is a podcast hosted by the Sue Bird and the inspiration of prepubescent boys, Meg Rapinoe. They were talking to Rebecca Lobo about the unreasonable demands made by WNBA players. I'm sure Meg was demonizing Cathy Engelbert. I'm sure she was trying to bait Rebecca Lobo into siding with entitled players. But clearly, Meg is not a masturbator, because Rebecca Lobo actually criticized WNBA players for how they have completely mishandled these negotiations. She criticized WNBA players for their inability of maintaining support from the fan base. You had the fan support. All you had to do was shut the hell up. Instead, you displayed your unbelievable entitlement by calling million-dollar annual salaries a slap in the face. When I played in this dump, we were playing for prizes, free scooters, tricycles, just for men, and you have the audacity to complain about receiving $1 million you haven't earned? You know, back in the late 90s, Vince McMahon and the WWF were in a somewhat similar situation to what the WNBA is in right now. The WWF and WCW, they were in a bidding war for Bret Hart. Now, at the time, both companies were fighting each other in the television ratings, and Bret Hart was one of the biggest stars in the business. Long story short, Bret Hart ended up signing a massive contract with the WWF. It was worth a few $1 million, which was unprecedented at the time in the business of orchestrated combat. It was a seminal moment for a number of reasons. This contract, it shaped the future of the business, but it also changed the mindset. It changed the mentality of Vince McMahon. With Bret Hart, it was one of the first times that a star talent had more leverage than the company. It was the first time that Vince McMahon felt powerless in negotiations. He made a promise to himself to never be put in that situation again. He would never allow one of the employees to have more power than he did. He would never allow a talent to become bigger and more powerful than the WWF brand. Right now, Cathy Engelbert and the WNBA are going through the same thing. For the first time ever, WNBA players think they have power. Now, of course, no one else thinks that, but their perception is the only thing that matters. For the first time ever, WNBA players believe they have more leverage than the league, and Cathy Engelbert is making moves to ensure this never happens again. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Let's go and get to the sponsor for today's video, my good friends at Sugar Mountain Trading. If your wife is anything like mine, then she loves to smell good. My wife and daughter are constantly applying lotion. They claim it makes their skin softer, but I think they constantly apply it because it makes them smell good. Lately, my wife has been using a variety of scents from Sugar Mountain Trading. Their luxurious all-natural lotion. It is crafted to calm dry, itchy skin. It gently soothes eczema and psoriasis. And the best part is, it doesn't leave your skin feeling greasy. You know how a lot of lotions, they'll leave that film on your skin? Lotions from Sugar Mountain Trading. They are designed with an exclusive lifting method. After about a minute or so, any unabsorbed lotion evaporates into the air, leaving your skin soft and grease-free. My wife prefers the Black Raspberry or the American Spirit, but there are over 15 different fragrances for you to choose from. If you or your wife prefer lotion without the smell, there's also a fragrance-free option available. So click the link in the description below or the pinned comment below. Use my promo code BTL25, BTL25. Receive 25% off your first purchase with Sugar Mountain Trading. Headline at Sports Media Watch. WNBA pushing earlier start and later finish to the pretend basketball season. When I initially saw this headline the other day, I was confused. Correct me if I'm wrong here. I don't remember anyone asking for more pretend basketball. I don't remember seeing this insatiable demand, this unquenchable desire for more women's basketball. Matter of fact, if you look at ratings and attendance for Unrivaled, or the fact that absolutely no one is talking about women's college basketball, or the fact that the WNBA Finals struggled to sell tickets with tickets going for less than $40, the market seems to be communicating the complete opposite. People are telling you with their remotes they want less women's basketball. But once I looked into this potential schedule, the intentions of the WNBA became clear. Cathy Engelbert wants to expand the regular season from 44 games to a maximum of 54 games. This would give WNBA players 10 more opportunities to prove they can't sell tickets. But I don't think this is about money. Or in the case of the WNBA, I don't think this is about increasing the amount of the money that they are losing. This schedule is about power. It's about control, leverage. The league wants training camp to start in March, with the WNBA Finals, also known as the Chase for the Platinum Pooper, concluding in November. This would potentially prevent WNBA players from subsidizing their income with Project B. They would be forced to choose between Project B and the millions of dollars that they're offering, or the WNBA and their millions of pesos. This new schedule, it would also have a devastating impact on Unrivaled. And by devastating impact, I mean it would probably put Unrivaled out of business. Now, of course, Unrivaled is already doing a phenomenal job of putting themselves out of business, but with this new schedule, overpaid players in Unrivaled, they would have no break between the Unrivaled season and the WNBA season. This proposal, it essentially forces WNBA players into making a choice. Due to prioritization, the WNBA penalizes players who don't show up to training camp because they're competing in another league. What the WNBA is basically saying with this proposal, there is no more subsidizing your income by pretending to play basketball in multiple leagues. You have to make a choice. You either play in our dump or you play in one of these other secondary dumps. But what you're not going to do is play in both. To her credit, this is a brilliant move by Cathy Engelbert. The diva of dump divas is reminding WNBA players that they don't have the power. Cat is telling WNBA players who's boss. For years now, WNBA players have been living in this state of delusion and confusion. They have deluded themselves into thinking they had the power. They have deluded themselves into thinking that they're equivalent to NBA players. WNBA players have this belief that they are bigger or at minimum on the same level as the league. The employees think they are more powerful than the employer, when the reality is WNBA players are the equivalent of entry-level employees. Entry-level workers, they're a bonus. Entry-level workers are hired when the company is thriving to assist those who are actually generating the revenue. But when times get tough, when management slashes the budget, the entry-level workers, they are the first to be fired, mainly because they're not really needed for the company to survive. I know this sounds harsh, but no one needs the WNBA. Fans don't care because WNBA fans don't exist. NBA owners don't care because this dump is a money loser. Hell, NBA owners, they would actually save money if WNBA players went on strike. Like I have told you guys from the beginning, this leverage that WNBA players think they have, this leverage is an illusion. The increased ratings, attendance going from nothing to almost nothing, secondary dumps like Unrivaled and Project B, this gave WNBA players the illusion of leverage. If you took this same situation and you applied it to the NBA, the league would be in trouble. NBA players would get whatever the hell they wanted, but with the WNBA, the same leverage does not apply because this league isn't a necessity. It's a bonus. It's a nice tax write-off for the NBA. But if it goes away, they'll just find another way to ease their tax burden. The way it looks right now, if WNBA players want their $1 million annual contracts, if they want to be paid what they deserve, they're going to have to make some concessions. And the main concession seems to be Unrivaled going out of business. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys later.